All right, we're back. Cool. So here we go. Here we go. We're about to move into round two. This is the Chicago Open 2019. We just went over round one. I got 5.5 out of 9 points. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun to talk about. So we're gonna move into round two here. All right, guys, this is the second game. So does anyone in the chat know Evan Park? Does anyone know who Evan Park is? Anyone know who Evan Park is? This is round number two. Round number two of the Chicago Open. Does anyone know? You ever heard of him? No master. Evan Park. Not me, says AB. So Evan Park is a young prodigy. Young prodigy. He's probably 11. Maybe 11. I mean, he's probably 11, 12. Like that, very young. I know he's in middle school. But he's a national master. He's a prodigy. Strong kid that is a monster. Okay, very good, very good. Evan Park is very nice. He's a young kid that's very strong, to say the least. If you look at some of the pawn grabbers footage, actually, maybe the videos are still there. You might be able to catch him. Might be on YouTube, but he was doing some commentary actually, and I was like, at first when I first saw him, I was like, man, this kid knows some stuff. I was looking at that. How did he see that too? Who is this kid? So Isaac tells me, oh, that's Evan Park. And then I end up playing him in the tournament. So it was very cool that we played. Is the one in the pic on Twitter. Yes, he's in the Twitter pic. So if you're on Twitter, if you're not, follow on Twitter, definitely. I see you won 4 and 5 near the end. Nice comeback. Yes, won chess. Yes, I did. I wanted to talk about that, of how you keep your head in the game a lot of times. Because I started, first one a loss. This game right here is a draw. And then we're going to talk about the third one too. But this one was a draw with Evan Park. Very strong player here. And let's get into some sharp chess here. The man is very strong, or kid is very strong, but he plays like a man, like a grown man, like very strong man, actually. So E4, G6, and then D4. I'm playing with the white pieces here. He plays the Pirc defense. So E4, G6, D4, Bishop G7. But the Bishop G7, we got Knight to C3. I'm just defending. This is regular Pirc stuff, or actually this is the modern, but it turned into like a Pirc. D6, Knight F3, A6. So this A6 early, which is funny. I have never gotten these kind of setups, the Pirc or the modern, this early. I have never gotten it this early in the I mean, like twice in the tournament, not early, but twice in the same tournament. I got the Pirc defense with white, and I was like, what is this tournament even about? It just was weird. It was very weird to get the same. I've never gotten that, you know, until this. Can also be Bishop F4 against this. You could really, yeah, you actually could. Bishop F4, you could kind of London your way in. But E3 and D4 actually. 4 and D4, yep, Queen D2, kind of a London. Also Queen side, yeah, that's one way to do it. With this A6 though, this is the thing. You know that he's going to play B5. If you allow him to play B5 and Bishop B7 and do this, and he's never gonna have a bad game. He would have a bad game. It's gonna be more of like he misplays it. Because these bishops become very sharp. If you push one, the other becomes stronger, and there's counterplay everywhere. The idea is that these two pawns hold the center, and because you have a center, it is your job to to hold the center, and it's your job that if you don't have the center to break up the center. So that's the thing about this. That's why they do all these flank moves first, because they're going to counterattack your center later and break you down. So if you understand the idea, it's much better than, oh, what the theory? I got to memorize all these moves. Yes, you do in some cases, but a lot of times you need to be doing the ideas of it. Looks like a KID. Yes, in a way. Actually, that's KID moves. A6, G6. This is all KID. That's correct, AB. KID is very strong too. That's why I play it. A4. A4. This is what I played. So I stopped him from playing B5 because I'm not about to allow him to develop. Why would I allow him to develop? Why would I want him to do that? So B5, show play to gain. Slow play to gain tempo. That's correct. That's correct. Yes. Me having a general idea of where the game is going to what I. Yes. Yes. So he played. Wait. We go here. I played A4. A4. I'm stopping B5. So I'm stopping this B5 move. and waiting to see what he does. He plays knight f6. Knight f6 is a dual purpose or multi-purpose move. He's just about to castle. You got to get the pieces out and go from there. I play h3 in this line, and I go bishop e3. So the problem is, like, this is dual, you know, dual citizenship kind of thing. I mean, this is like wild on like the reasons why you need to put the bishop here on e3, but also there's a lot to think about. A lot to think about. A4, h3. Where's my king going? This is a lot of things I have to, you know, I like to ask or say when I'm playing in the tournament. Where is my king going to go? And I already play a4, so I've done this before, and it's very scary. Like even just making some random move. Actually, castle, yeah, castle, bishop e3, and like c6, queen d2, and then castles. Then he play like b5, and I could be in trouble real quick. Queen a5, you can be in trouble fast. So much thinking involved makes the game feel like chess. That's correct. That is correct. I believe that. It's too much. It's so much, right? But after h3, he plays b6. This is interesting. They usually don't do this until after the castle. So I was like, okay, well, all right, let's see what happens. I play bishop e3, and he played right into it like how I like it. He castled, and I played e5. After e5, here's the thing usually. If they take, I'm already feeling good. Is white here? I'm feeling so good. After pawn takes, they'll go like knight d7. You have queen d5, or you got e6. These are my favorites. e6 is my favorite, and I like this when they go knight d7 first, because then I break up this pawn structure. This is like attacking 101. This is the bridge you got to break. How do you break it? You throw pawns at it. AB, bro, this game was super tactical. I felt like a boss, a real Jedi, after I made a few moves in here. And then Evan Park was just like so nice. He found the only thing that would like get out of it. The only thing. And it was just like very, very I mean, it was very, very impressive to say the least that he found that. I was like, man, that was deep thinking. That was a great idea. Very strong player. So I played e6 though, but e6 is breaking all of this up. So after e6, watch this. Thank you so much, AB, for putting it in the chat. After pawn takes, what happens? A lot of options here. What do you do as white here? How do you proceed? I hit him with this e6. He went for it. What did I play? Knight g5, h4. Let's go, Dale. Let's go. Dale is ready. Dale is ready for it. Yep, h4. And a lot of times you get in a lot of trouble. If you're not accurate here, it's over. And the kid is accurate. So he knew what to do, to say the least. But knight g5 is just knight f6. And you know, this is kind of the same. I can play h4, but it doesn't work the same. It's not, it's harder to win this way. And you may have to, if black's very accurate like Evan is, it's going to be very tough for you. Maybe Ginger maybe Ginger GM would play h4. Yes, h4 is the move actually. That's why that's why he's an NM. Right. He's just guessing. Yeah, I'm just guessing, you know. What we do. A bit risky. Correct. It's very risky. You have to remember I am down a pawn here against a very strong prodigy kid. So you need to be careful just giving up pawns. You need to be accurate. But I do know these lines very well, so I was confident. He played knight f6 after h4. How old is Evan? He's like 11, bro. 11, yep. So I played h5 here. h5. Wow, what a move. It's about to get real. I'm sacking a second pawn. My king is in the center as well. This game is about to get crazy. This is the type of chess I love. This is beautiful. I don't know what's about to happen. I do actually, but it feels great to actually do this. So knight takes h5. Now, what move do we make here? AB, chess tricks. We got Dale in the chat. Okay, and if you feel like you're a big fella, of course you can answer at will. But where do we go here is one. Rook x knight. Oh, AB just savagery. Not down a pawn. Oh, rook h5. Asian ethnicity? Yes. Yes, he is. Rook takes h5. All these monsters here. Rook takes h5. That was literally something that I was thinking about a lot of. But what's funny is, guys, I looked at this with the engine, and they prefer knight g5 first. So I looked at this a long time ago. I actually was playing Kazım Gulamali. He's like, But I mean, 2700 blitz on chess.com. Super strong. Best bughouse player in the world, probably still. And I played this with him, and I had a winning position, just didn't know what to do. It was too much. So I was like, man, I got to figure this out. And they always would do knight g5 first, because usually I would take this. Rook takes h5. Seems correct, but with accurate play, like these guys do a lot of times, or if you do, or even with inaccurate play on your end with this, it could go wrong very quickly, especially in kind of stuff like this, knight g5. A lot of times they can get away with rook f6, and after this, they usually get away. Is this? I mean, as crazy as this sounds, like it looks like, oh man, I'm winning, you know, but it's actually not that simple. Not that simple. So rook takes h5 is not. It is a move, but it's not. Seems like the vote would be rook takes h5. Pawns are like a fence in the black position, making it hard from some, right? But when they're able to break through, it's crazy. Yes, that's right, Kyle. The hardest position to win is in one position. It was either Anon or I think one of them said that. Yeah, but that's correct. It's correct. I've heard that before. So knight g5 is, I was like, you know, I'm comfortable. I'm playing fast here, which is also a psychological thing. When you're playing over the board, when you're playing online is different, but psychologically, like a lot of times you do these kind of things, get people in time trouble. You can read the facial expressions, etc. Body language is really good. So I was feeling really good here because I had knight g5 in, and I was like, okay, you got to be real accurate here, and let's see where he was. And good. He was very good with it. I can see bishop d3 coming with very strong attack, says AB. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, AB. It's about to be nice, right? So after knight g5, we finish this out. He plays h6. Actually, not a fan. This is, I'm playing Evan Park right here. His USCF is 2245. In this game, I think it's FIDE 2070, something like that. Very low FIDE, but very high. National master. Young prodigy, 11 years old. He's a monster. So I'm playing the white pieces here. We got a Pirc going on. h6 is the move. Knight, he's hitting my knight on g5. I think Evan has played in Maryland. I mean, he's obviously played many places with that big boy rating for such a small man. So he's a monster. He's a beast. So after h6, I didn't want to show you guys that move. I wanted you to guess, but there it is. It's on the board. Queen to d3. It's about to go down. I put that. That's like a mic drop move. Play queen d3 and drop the mic. Right, so I thought this was over. Because there's so much to do here. There's so much to do. I'm sacking a piece literally, and crazy. It was like, I think this was my most. No, that's not my most fun. Not my most, but this was very fun to play. Queen d3 and get him out of here. Yes, AB, correct. That's how I felt. I was like, this is out, straight up, out. I was ready, right? So I picked one. Don't tell me what the engine says. Minus here 1. Nah. They ain't gonna say that. They're not gonna say that. But after queen d3, he takes it. He goes for it. Oh, queen e8 now. Let's go through that. Okay, he played queen e8. So queen e8 runs into rook takes h5. Big fella, get him out of here. I was in the zone here. Rook takes h5. Tell him have a nice in the stretch. GG. Like, this is over. That's a piece. Or, I mean, hey, you get your piece back. Oh, well, I get interest too. It's going to be pretty bad. Pretty bad. So, but going back, he didn't play that. I also was like, well, okay, let's say he takes this. I was looking at all kind of mates and stuff. Knight f4, right? I think it was knight. No, he takes. Queen takes here, right? The third opponent, Southern, he's probably related to GM. I think that's his son. Like, he was super strong, bro. And I was like, man, this kid underrated. Like, who am I playing? And it makes sense. Somebody else told me the same thing. He was like, that's the GM son. I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. He was playing very strong here. But check this out, guys. So you have, this is actually what happened, right? This is the critical line. If we go back 2 moves here, the critical line is if he takes the knight. Because everything else he don't really have. I mean, if he doesn't take it, then I'm just better. I mean, hitting this pawn. How do you effectively defend this is the question. How do you effectively defend this? Rook f6. I can probably still get away with this, but I also have like 94 for right now. And then take here, and then take on g6, and then take on h5. Like, take everything. Just take, have a good day. It's over. So rook f6 is just not effective. So usually taking this, you get rid of one of the pieces that are attacking the king. It's very easy to go wrong here as black. And I'm very impressed that Evan did not go wrong. Evan knew what to do. And it ended up becoming a perpetual because he knew what to do. And the engine's like, yeah, actually, that was crazy how y'all got here. That was crazy how we got here as the engine. You just go back and forth. I was like, wow, this is a very interesting game. And we analyzed it after too. The queen d3, pawn takes, queen takes. You got a few moves here with this knight. Few moves. You also have queen e8 too. I think queen e8 was his secondary option. Because he was like, yeah, I could go queen e8. And I was like, okay, yeah, queen takes g5. This is just a sideline. Because he could have played this. Actually, no, not takes g5. It takes here. Takes on h5. And then we go into this kind of thing. But I think white is you know, he has a lot of attacking chances as white. So I feel good, you know, playing this position. And then these could become passed, or this one at least could become passed. And he still has to catch up on development. So he didn't go that route though. The critical line, the one that actually like may work, is knight f6. Also, knight f4, I really was wanting him to go knight f4. Because that was like the fun stuff. Like takes, bishop here, rook f6, and then puzzle rush him. I was like, man, this would be beautiful. If I can get this tactic and mate on h7, oh my goodness. I was ready. I was looking at everything. I was so ready for that stuff. But he plays knight f6. And after that, where are we at? Oh, right here. Okay, so after knight f6, rook h8, minesweeper, like nice puzzle rush concept. Yeah, I was trying to set this stuff up. So I played bishop d3 just in case I'm able to like lure this knight off and then able to get this mate in. That was a big thing of mine. I was definitely eyeing this so much, trying to get this off. Bishop takes. So what would you play here as black? How do you defend this? Queen e8 for sure. Queen e8 for sure. Yep, that's actually really the only move. Classic board flip position. You just flip the board over. So okay, yeah, that is a way. That is a move actually. Knight b to d7 is chess tricks. Actually, I forgot. I mean, I didn't think this was a move. I didn't forget. I think I was going castle or something. Or bishop takes g5. But knight b to d7 actually came in handy. Queen e8. So they give queen e8, but then they say knight b to d7, queen takes g5. So it would have been the same thing anyway. Still take this. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is what I did. So he went queen e8, and I think no matter what he did, I was going to take this pawn. Because that's what I did. So I was going to take this pawn, and now I'm looking at this. Because queen e8 was the move he played. I played queen takes g5, and I like this move because now I'm going to back this up with the bishop. And yeah, you know, you got to realize I am down a piece right now. So I am literally playing down a piece as we speak. I'm straight up down a piece. So if this doesn't work out and he's able to get everything consolidated correctly, I could lose because I'm down a piece. I sacrificed material. So at this point, you know, I'm like feeling like a real boss. Like, man, this is nice. This is a nice position. You know, this feels good. I'm down a piece, but I'm technically like winning right now with this attack, especially if it's right and if he makes a mistake, because it's easy to make a mistake here, right? So queen takes g5 with the threat of bishop g6 coming in if he like messes up or something. So you play rook f7, and then at the corner of my eye, in the back of my head, this idea for black came in my head, and I was like, Evan is a little genius. What is the plan for black? What is the plan for black? What is your plan for black? And it needs to be detailed, so take your time. I know you typing. Take your time. It needs to be, what is the plan for black? Black is definitely nervous here. Absolutely nervous. Absolutely. But if you know, what's the plan? What do you need to do? Few moves. Throw a few moves. Like, you need to go here, 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 and here. And we good. If takes. No, that ain't right. Maybe walk the king to the center via e8. h6. One chess with cis castle queen side. There's a lot of good stuff here. Let me tell you what happened. So the plan, I immediately saw his plan when he played rook f7. I was like, huh, this knight can go here. Did you know this kind of position or find these moves over the board? Now this position, I don't know. I don't know because this is the first time I've ever been here, and I actually checked the database too, and there's no other games ever. This is the only game like this. I was like, this is great, cool. But at the same time, I had to like it was very difficult. I sacked a piece. There's other moves I could have made, but this is definitely very complicated. The H4 and H5, that's and Knight G5, that's all stuff I do. But when you play H6, the G6 pawn, I was so fascinated with the G6 that I played Queen D3 because I was like, that's his king. The knight's over there. There's a lot of weaknesses. There has to be something. So now you know it. That's correct. Now I do, right? So after this, he played Rook F7. His idea is King F8, Knight D7, Knight here, and put this other knight on F6. And you have to remember, there's a YouTube video. You can YouTube it right now. Kasparov's calculations, and he talks about like pieces, or how many pieces it takes to attack and minusing, and like of course like addition and subtraction. So if there's 6 pieces and you only are attacking with 4, you're not going to win that battle with those 6 pieces. So I started to think about that, and I was like, I need more pieces because he's going to have like 5 pieces around his king, and I'm attacking with not enough. So eventually he's going to probably consolidate, and I could slowly lose this game. So I had to realize that. And when I came to that realization of that, when I was like, oh, I realized this is about to be bad if I don't figure this out. Started going into the think tank, and I came up with an idea here. Oh yeah, the Karpov game where he said intuition told me he had enough pieces to lay down the attack. That is correct. Knock-A-Fan 2016. 100%. I still watch that video a lot, and I'm like, man, right? It just feels good to know that, right? So I'm going into this attack already knowing that I need to be like relentless right now. So who said castle? I think it was One Chess. One Chess says castle. That's exactly what I did. Link us. Just type in Kasparov calculations. It comes right up. First video. There's 2 of them actually, but it's like the same video. So I castle. Now you know where, because I'm ready for King F8 because I'm trying to like mate him now. You know, I'm trying to get this rook over here and do nasty things and get bad, be annoying, and crush him on the side, right? That's what I'm trying to do. So I play Rook H1. I mean, a castle queenside for this kind of idea. He plays Knight B to D7. Knight B to D7. Now the knight's here, and now you know where it's going. The knight is going to replace the other knight here. Yeah, Rook H6 not even an option. It's not even an option. Stockfish is like, nah, it's not a move. But I figured that too, because I didn't want to have any lines where I have to move this again. Because anytime, if this rook gets close, let's even go like Rook H6 and King F8. Rook F6, King F8, like takes here. Like he can like just take this a lot of times. Yeah, I think he can just take this. Let me see if able to get out of this. Rook takes and what? Rook G7. And then Queen takes just Rook G7. Rook check. It just looks good, but there's nothing here. King F7. Yeah, and then it says Queen H4. Yeah, I would just be trying to fight and force this. And this would not be, I have to be accurate. Like the evaluation is -1. Even though he's up some material in a way, it's -1. It's very difficult. Very difficult. And so I play Rook H4 because I can at least keep the rook on and be, you know, a little bit more sure I can sack it later, and instead of just going immediately into sacking it right now. I played Rook H4. I was ready. I would go H6 intending Rook G6. That was definitely into a thought, bro. Definitely a thought. Rook H6 to Rook G6. But then I was like, well, then when I get here, how do I, like, what's the follow-up? How do I get this here? I would have to go here, here, and here. That's like 3 moves. And everything's on the same file, and his pieces are really close. There's like, it realistically not happening. It was very, very scary. Yeah, tripling on the G file, bro. That's right. That was definitely an idea. So he plays King H8. I bring the rook over because I kind of have to. Can't believe there went even some crazy engine line leading to mate in this game. There was not. I know, Kyle. I thought the same thing. I was like, I know I missed something. And then I looked at the engine and it was like, no, you didn't. I was like, well, that's, feels good. Like, oh, I ain't really missed nothing. But it feels like, bro, what? How does he get out of this? How does he wiggle out of this? It looks like it shouldn't work, but it does. It does. He plays knight to g8. I looked so long at everything. I looked at rook h8, sack the rook first. How about rook h7, sack the rook, maybe check him? Nope, that don't work. How about bishop h7, which that's actually, I think, what I ended up playing because I had an idea for it in some time. But I'm like, I need another piece. And remember, that calculations video from YouTube is like, yo, you got to attack with more pieces versus his. And he got like 4 pieces. This is about to be 4 pieces. And I'm really only attacking with 3, maybe 4. So that kind of equals out the attack. Maybe even if you count the king, that's like 5. Everything's solid and protected. I'm not directly attacking anything right now. It takes a move or so, which he has a move too. So it's very hard to figure something out here. It was very, very hard. It's so hard. Yeah, bishop g6, right? Okay, I played bishop h7 first because I was like, well, let's try it. Play Bughouse, knight h7 mate. You know what? It crossed my mind, and there was a white knight next to me, and the 2 people that were playing, and I thought about doing that, and then came back to earth and do it. So I played bishop h7 instead. Bishop h7. So the bishop went to h7 because I'm directly hitting this snap and then rook h8 with mate. So that would have been fun, but of course he's not. 92 to f4 for mate on g6, but it's slow, I think. AB, you on it. You on it, AB. He smothered his king, but there's no mate. That's right. That is right. This is a wild game. And if I put the bishop on g6, it's going to take a while to get 92, knight f4, and bishop h5 in. Without knight g6, also he could end up taking, and when I take back with check, he goes knight f6 and blocks it. Then I'm still just down a piece. It was ridiculous. I thought about all that. That's what the Jedi do. So bishop h7, he plays knight f6. Because if he can get this bishop, and he, in post-game analysis, he was like, no, I wasn't even going to take that bishop. And I was like, well, I'm glad, because I was like, I wanted to keep this bishop. I was like, if he gets this bishop, I might be in some real trouble at that point. Because now he got 2 bishops. And let's just say, he does get the bishop, right? And then you're like, oh, yeah, so many people, when I showed this game, it was like, oh, yeah, white's fine. No, he's not. What's your next move? What do you do? This rook is holding down everything. Everything is held down, and you can't take this. And rook g3, yeah, you may be able to get that in. I have knight f6 coming. I'm kicking you out. Bishop's getting out. It was just not fun to attack with this. And I'm losing pieces instead of gaining more of them. This bishop's weird. I have to walk this around. And then in some cases, e5, if I play like knight e2, let's go like bishop e7. Knight here, e5, he's hitting the rook, blocking f4. So I can't get this here, and I kind of wasted a move now. It's like weird stuff. It was very, very interesting, to say the least. Also, he could play like bishop f6 in some cases. g7 is the weakness. Yeah, but rook f3, he could block anything. Bishop f6. Rook f6 if he wanted to. Anything on f6. It was just play 2 moves at once. Okay, all right, cool, yeah. I've never tried that one yet. Never tried it. Bishop h7. I played bishop g6. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tie him down and see what he does. If I can tie him down, then cool. Maybe we can get some stuff going. And then maybe even rook h8 might work in some cases. Or I can walk this around. Knight e2, knight f4. Definitely was trying for that. He plays bishop d7. I go knight e2. So knight e2. Now I'm going for knight f4. I'm going for like almost last shot kind of stuff. Knight f4 and moving this bishop somewhere to try to get the mate on g6. And I'm slowly like bringing my pieces into the attack. That's what the successful attackers do. You just bring all the pieces there and focus on that spot. So I brought it over there. Knight to d5. He's trying to stop me, but he moved away. He moved away here, and I was like, okay, I got a lot of things to do here, a lot of moves to make. I don't want him to get away. I thought for a long time, because I thought bishop h7, and I actually played bishop h7, but I thought he could play rook f5, and that engine actually looked at it too. And rook f5, you're like, oh, he just giving up the rook, but he's actually not. You always got to keep material count. So I am down a piece still. In a way, I am still down a piece. And I think I only got 2 pawns for that piece. So taking this, the trading, this is still double-edged, but black may be okay. okay, you got to be still very accurate, and maybe I could, you know, win or get a draw. I don't know. This is unclear, to say the least. That's what they say. This unclear position. It's not that clear. It's not that easy, to say the least. Pirc f5 was an option. He did go for this, because I played bishop h7 and he just went back, or he went this knight, and so I went back to g6. Then he went back to g8. Then I went back to h7. He went here, and we had agreed on a draw. And then in post game analysis, he was like, "Well, try bishop e4," and I was like, "Oh, excuse me, bishop e4? What is what?" And I was like, "Oh, Evan, wow, thank you." But it doesn't work. It just doesn't do anything. Bishop e4 is a try, because if knight takes, then it's mate on the back rank. You know, because that's what he's threatening. And he's like, if you move knight g8, you can take on d5. And he was talking about like knight g8 takes, and knight f4. And I was like, oh boy, you onto something, big fella. But you know, he's a young prodigy. But I think he was just able to get out with like rook f6. Something like that, maybe. Knight g6, king here. And it just looks good. They call these paper tigers. Paper tigers sometimes. Look at this. This looks like you should be winning, but you may not be. You are maybe further from the truth. Takes here, e6. Now you got two pieces hanging. Okay, that's not going to work. And then maybe even this route. Oh, check. That's cool. Take here. Maybe rook check. You rook check them first. I mean, this gets complicated. In any of these lines, if I rook check or takes, doesn't matter. He has king f8 and queen f7. And he's running, and he's out of there. Crazy how that works. These kind of games, you lose that fast. And this is the open section, and you need to be ready for this stuff. That was crazy. But we ended up in a draw. Very good game. Very strong player. Rook h7 here looked strong. It looked real strong, right? Rook check, king here. But what's your next move, AB? Does this even work? Let me see if the engine find anything cute. Oh, no. It's just saying with best play, it's still going to be -1. With best play. And now it's like, well, you know what? With best play, it's going to be -1 to 1.24, actually, to be real exact. You know, which is like, wow, right? Looks are very different. It's crazy, man. That was a wild game, and it was very fun. And I was very excited about that game. That was round 2, guys. That was round 2. Now we go into round 3. I think this was the toughest round for me, because I was so mad that I dropped this game, that I just so unprepared. Let's look at it and learn from our mistakes.